Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. You guys, we actually had a different video planned for today. We have it filmed and edited, ready to go. But with all of the craziness that has happened over the last 24 hours, especially in the Disney World, we had to push that video off until next week because there are some things that honestly, we just need to talk about.
And right off the bat, because we actually will be talking about the coronavirus, we do not have this video monetized.
It's one of the things that we don't ever want to come across like we're making money off of a subject that is very, very sensitive right now, that everybody's talking about it. So we did demonetize this video, and the whole purpose of this video, so you guys know, well, if you've watched our channel, you know that we want to do two things. We want to inform and we want to inspire. And we feel like this is one of those times when we have the opportunity to inform, because we posted some things on our social media yesterday about some of the closures of the parks and the cruise line, and you guys had a lot of questions. We received so many messages, so many questions. There's just so much confusion out there right now about what the heck is going on that we thought we would take today's video, tell you what we know, and hopefully bring a little bit of clarity to a crazy situation.
So what we're gonna do today is go through all of the closure announcements in the parks and the hotels and all of its entities.
And then at the end of the video, we're actually gonna talk a little bit, give you some of our opinions, some of our thoughts, some of which even have changed over the last 24 hours as this situation has escalated. But first, let's just jump into what we know.
One of the reasons we really want to talk about this is that it is significant. For the very first time in history, all 6 Disney theme parks will be closed simultaneously.
And that is an absolutely huge deal. We're going to talk about all of those parks, and we're going to start with the first announcement that we heard yesterday, and that announcement was about Disneyland. Basically, Disney announced that Disneyland and California Adventure are going to be closed beginning the morning of March 14th. Those parks will be closed. Now, the resorts there at Disneyland are going to stay open a couple days longer. They're going to stay open until March 16th, basically just to give guests a couple days to kind of adjust travel plans, find other accommodations. However, Disneyland closing March 14th, that's crazy.
As soon as we heard that announcement, we knew it was only a matter of time before we heard about Disney World doing the same thing.
And so later in the day yesterday, that's exactly what we heard, but we didn't just hear about Disney World. We also heard about Disneyland Paris, and basically the closures at both of those parks are the same. Both Disney World and Disneyland Paris are going to close for business at the end of the day on March 15th. And just like Disneyland, they're going to stay closed through the end of the month. At least that is currently the plan. But unlike Disneyland, Disney actually said that they're not going to close the resorts at Disney World or at Disneyland Paris, at least for now. So they said the resorts are staying open. They also said that Disney Springs and Disney Village, which are like the shopping and dining centers of those parks, were going to stay open for now as well. Although, to be quite honest, personally, I think it's only a matter of time before the resorts and Disney Springs and Disney Village are closed. But Disney says for now, they're staying open.
And then we got the announcement that we were really wondering about concerning Disney Cruise Line.
One of the first pieces of news I heard yesterday morning was that Princess Cruise Line was ceasing operations for a couple of months, which obviously is a big deal here in Alaska. Princess is a huge cruise line that comes up here. But then we also heard later in the day that Virgin Voyages, brand new cruise line from Richard Branson, which was supposed to launch April 1st, actually pushing their kind of initial launch back to July, August. So we had both of those cruise announcements earlier in the day, which definitely had me wondering about Disney Cruise Line. And then the announcement was made that Disney is actually canceling all cruises beginning March 14th. And those cruises will be canceled through the end of the month. Now again, Disney has said through the end of the month on Disneyland, Disney World, Disneyland Paris, and Disney Cruise Line. And one thing that's really important to keep in mind is that that's not set in stone. Right? That's totally temporary. Those could be, and I would kind of expect them to be, extended. Now, to what point? Obviously, we have no idea. But for now, Disney's just saying through the end of the month.
And obviously, these 3 shutdowns with Disneyland, Disney World, and Disneyland Paris just follow on the heels of the 3 closures in Asia.
Yeah, just a quick update on those. Shanghai Disneyland is actually kind of an interesting place. They're in the process of what they're calling a tiered reopening. And so the park itself is still closed. However, they're starting to open to limited guests, like some shopping and some dining, but they have not told a date yet when the theme park will reopen. So Shanghai Disney, for the most part, effectively is still shut down.
And Tokyo Disneyland actually originally said they would reopen on March 16th, but they have pushed that back to mid-April.
And then the final park, Hong Kong Disneyland, remains closed, and Disney actually has not even given us a potential opening date. I do even know that some of the land there around Hong Kong Disney has been used for like quarantine area, so honestly, I have no idea when that park could reopen.
A lot of this news is actually discouraging, but we were actually very encouraged to know that Disney will continue to pay all of its employees, their cast members, throughout this closure.
And there was also an announcement Disney made yesterday that did not have to do with cruises or parks that I thought was kind of interesting. Disney has some movie releases that were supposed to be coming out that they actually announced they're pushing back. The biggest one for sure, Mulan, which was supposed to be released March 27th, and Disney has said it's pushing that back, and it hasn't even given us a date.
Indeterminate.
Yeah, and so that Mulan release is being pushed back. Don't know when it's going to happen. They were also supposed to release like the new X-Men installment, New Mutants, and that was supposed to be like in early April, and that's getting pushed back as well. So parks closed, cruise line closed, movies pushed back. You guys, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And we know just from reading your guys' posts and comments on the things that we post on social media, you guys have a range of emotions around this. Some of you, yesterday was a huge bummer day because trips that you have been planning for years got canceled, right? We have viewers whose honeymoon got canceled. And so like we know you guys are going through a range of emotions. And so honestly, I just want to say I'm sorry. Sorry for those of you who have had your entire next few weeks just totally like destroyed by these announcements. Number one, I'm glad that you're going to be safe though.
Yeah.
Right? That's a good thing. But Sherry, we both have some thoughts on this. And so I wanted to ask you, like, as you've heard all of these closures, as like the world has changed, it feels like even in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of your thoughts about this?
For me, I think that this shows really how serious this is, even more than we initially thought. Just the fact that these, especially like Disney, but so many other companies are willing to lose millions of dollars a day to shut down, to protect the public. I think that speaks to the severity of this.
Yeah, I think that you guys remember the last video we posted, like 48 hours ago. This is how much this stuff has changed. And in that video, we said, you know what, we're still going forward with our travel plans. Like, we're not going to live in fear. And those things are all true. However, our travel plans, if I'm being totally honest, like, there's a part of me that seriously doubts our Fiji trip's going to happen.
I don't know.
Like, honestly, I have no idea. Because if the world has changed this much in 48 hours, like, what's it going to be like 2 months from now? Like, I don't know.
I'm hoping that they'll just have a handle on this and everything will be open and it'll be
and
fine.
we get to go to Fiji.
And we can still go to Fiji, but...
Totally. And so, but like still, we're still not going to live in fear about that, but we're going to be wise about it, and maybe it causes us or forces us to change travel plans. My Florida trip that I was supposed to be going on in like 10 days, honestly, right now, super, super, super up in the air. I don't know that's going to happen. And so even our lives have changed a lot. Our outlook on travel has changed a lot. We actually just had our first case of coronavirus. COVID-19 here in Alaska, just announced a matter of hours ago. We didn't have any cases here in Alaska, but now we do. So everything really feels like it's changing just so fast.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I don't know, I think going back to our last video, I think it's important to still not be fearful, but still to be like really aware and really wise.
Right.
And so that's kind of the approach that we're taking. We have no idea what tomorrow holds. If the last 48 hours have proven anything, it's that we have no idea what's coming.
No idea.
Because 48 hours ago, I did not think the NBA season, the Major League Baseball season, the Major League Soccer season, basically all of the Disney parks, Universal parks, the cruise industry, I didn't think all of those things would essentially
go away.
Yet here we are. And so like I have no clue what is coming, but at the same time, even not knowing what's coming, like we're still going to try to not be fearful of that kind of stuff and let that fear like limit the life that we live.
Right. I think it's important to not live in panic mode. I think that there are, the government has said this is things you can do to try to prevent the spread of this. I think follow those. Wash your hands a lot. Stay away from as many people as possible.
Don't touch your face like I apparently do a lot.
Constantly. So, I think that there are steps that we can take to try to limit the spread and hopefully kind of be able to get back to our normal lives shortly.
That's totally the goal. But again, you guys, one of the reasons we wanted to make this video wasn't just to like dispel information, right? Because the reality is everything we talked about in this video, you could have gotten from a Google search.
Right.
But one of the things that we noticed on our social media accounts is that a lot of you guys were kind of using those spaces as a place to, I don't want to say vent, but just like ask questions and like dialogue about this. Right. And so to be honest, in some ways,
I think it's healthy.
It's so healthy.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons we wanted to make this video really was even just to open up the comments below to like discussion, because we know you guys are like Disney cruisers and Disney vacation planners and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of you are wondering right now, what the heck do I do? talk down below. Like, interact with each other. Ask questions down below. What should we do? What are you doing? Like, kind of use the comment section down below as this positive, encouraging community brain trust in a time when the world is absolute chaos. Right? And so this video is not just about this information, but hopefully it's about everything, all of the dialogue, all of the conversation going on down there. Even things like, you know what, if you're just really bummed, maybe you had to cancel a Disney trip yesterday and you're just ticked off about it. You can comment that down below.
Okay.
Say how ticked off you are down below, and let the rest of the LeggLife community like encourage you and like be nice to you and be kind to you. That's the kind of stuff we want to see here, you guys. Like we said earlier, we know that yesterday was a huge, huge bummer for so many of you. We know that trips that you have spent thousands of dollars and so many hours planning just went away. And you don't know what's next, and you don't know when you're going to be able to rebook, and you don't know when it's going to be able to happen. And we're really sorry. That has to be frustrating. You have to be feeling a wide range of emotions. And so, you guys, we just want you to know that we love you. Like, we're so thankful for you. We're glad that you're part of our life. And again, comment down below. Let's discuss all of this stuff as a community. We love you guys, and we'll see you on the next LeggLife video.